What's up, guys? Trevor with E-commerce Paradise. Want to talk about colors for branding for your high-ticket e-commerce store. So if it's your first time watching one of my videos, definitely subscribe to the channel and go to ecommerceparadise.com to see all of our amazing offers like our membership program and private coaching and ad management and all that stuff. All right, so let's get into it. When it comes to branding colors, you've got to be first and foremost doing some research before you set up your store, or if you've already set up a store, I would go back and do more research. What you should be doing is looking at all of the top competitors in your niche, and you should also look at your suppliers' websites, like the brands that you're selling and the direct-to-consumer brands, and see what colors that they're using. Because some niches you can have different colors, like it doesn't really matter. But some niches, like especially really, very specific stuff, like certain product categories, you really need to have a specific color that goes along with it in order to portray yourself as a specialist, as an expert in that niche, and that will build trust. Generally speaking, with most niches, you can go with blue because blue is the color of trust, and a lot of big retailers do this, like Walmart and Lowe's. But the thing about blue is that it doesn't work with every niche, and some very specific product categories, if you put blue, it really actually makes zero sense. And if you do that, you're going to get no conversions. And I want to give you one example, and that is of anything related to wine. Wine coolers, wine refrigerators, wine cellar cooling units, wine racks. All that stuff you can sell online, but you have to choose a color that's actually related to wine. And since you can't really put a white color on your website, you got to go with red wine. Red wine is like a magenta color, and magenta is somewhere between red and purple on this, chart here. And it's a really good idea because it's going to portray that you know something about what you're selling, and you're a wine-specific company. When people land on your website, they're going to see the color of wine, and they're going to subliminally think that you are an expert in that niche. Okay, so a lot of this color stuff is just subliminal stuff. It's something that happens subconsciously in the mind of the consumer, and it makes them think and trust you more. So that's the thing. I'll give you another example, and that one that I have sold in the past, which is electric bicycles. Electric bicycles are usually used outdoors, in the outdoor, world. And so you see the sun when you're using them. You're trying to ride around on a sunny day, right? Oftentimes. And so the color of yellow works really well with that niche. The color of blue can also work, and green. I've seen lots of stores using those as well. But with my store that I had years ago that did, multiple six figures in sales every month for at least a couple of years, that store was mostly branded yellow. However, I did have multiple colors on it. I had other colors that I mixed it with, kind of like if you see the logo of Google right here and the logo of eBay and Microsoft and NBC, all of these are multiple color logos. People, if they're coming from Google and finding you through Google, they already know, like, and trust Google as a company. So if you use similar colors that the place that referred you from has, it makes another subliminal message in the mind of the consumer, like, oh, this people, they know those people, and okay, that builds trust. It's like little trust points, subconscious trust points that people build in their mind of a store. And those, when you build more points up with a consumer through multiple touch points and just different things that are subliminal like this, it's more likely you're going to get the sale. The person's going to remember you better, and they're going to know, like, and trust you. They're going to come back and buy from you and refer their friends, and over again, consider you a trustworthy company. So, what we did was we used yellow as our baseline, but we also added elements of blue. We added elements of red and green, and we mixed it up in the graphics and on the product pages, things like that. Not too much, just, accents here and there. And it worked really well because people would land from Google, they'd see that the branding was kind of similar, and then they'd trust it more. And then we made it really easy to buy, really clear on how to buy on the website. So I have a lot more conversion optimization tips videos on my channel. Definitely go check out the High Ticket Dropshipping podcast, E-commerce Paradise podcast, which is a whole playlist And if you guys want access to my full high ticket dropshipping masterclass, that's also completely free on YouTube as a playlist. Go check that out at the channel. And by the way, if you want all the templates and scripts and things like that that are included in that, you're going to have to sign up for our Patreon membership program, which also includes a mastermind group and direct access to me to ask me anything. So go check it out, patreon.com/ecommerce paradise. Link is in the description. So let's get back to it. So let's do another niche example, something that's a little bit different, greenhouses. So greenhouses is a good example of a niche where you should pick a specific color for it because the actual product itself is used in an environment that is often green. Okay, there's grass, there's vegetables, there's plants growing, there's trees in this environment that it's being used in. Oftentimes the thing itself is kind of a clear product, right? Greenhouses are usually clear. So I would go with the color green for a greenhouse store. Maybe a little bit darker green, like you see the John Deere logo here. It's just a good idea because you're trying to establish, again, with the consumer in a subliminal, subconscious way that your store is an expert and that they should go with you and you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing. So if you set up a greenhouse store with the color blue, it's not really going to make much sense. The consumer is going to be confused subconsciously and they're probably going to click out. Another example, actually a good one, is Saunas. So Saunas, the product itself is it's built with wood. So it's like a golden kind of color. And so what I would definitely do with the sauna store is choose a golden sort of theme. But underlying that, the color of black is actually the color of luxury. And so consider kind of underlying any store you build with black. And as you can see, almost every logo here, especially like the yellow ones and the green ones too, but some of these other ones, especially the bright ones, the yellow ones, you see a lot of them have the black in with the yellow. So that's always a good idea, is because you're portraying that it's not only high luxury, but it's also exciting at the same time. So you want to remember, like, there's multiple things you can do here. So you can have a main color, you can have the black as like the other main color foundation. You can have multiple other colors that match the search engine that's sending you the traffic. And if you have like a site that sells furniture, for example, there's many different colors of furniture all over the place. You could just go with a black and kind of like silver grayish look. As you can see here, Apple kind of does that. Nike, a lot of companies just have black and kind of gray looks to them, which is perfectly fine, and it's a color of balance and calm and neutral. It goes with very just calm, neutral, high-end luxury niches. So just again, consider number one, the product you're selling. Number two, all your competitors, just look at them and kind of compare them and see what colors that they're selling on their store. If you're in a niche that's kind of broader, it might actually be better to choose more of a neutral color, so you're not super bright with certain product categories where it doesn't make sense to do that, and you're not super dark with certain product categories where it doesn't make sense to do that. So choosing something in the middle, and then you can work broader that way, is also a good idea. Like, for example, if you're choosing like a bathroom niche and you're going to sell steam showers, tubs, that kind of stuff, blue is good because blue is the color of water, so it matches with that, right? The same could go for spas. But yeah, you wouldn't want to choose like red for a store that is selling like mini splits, like air conditioning systems. It just wouldn't make any sense, And oftentimes red also is the color of like a stop sign or a stop light. So generally speaking, it's not a good idea to use red anyways. So just keep that in mind too. All right, guys. Well, I hope this is helpful. Definitely subscribe to the channel and go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/ecommerce paradise. Join the group, join the mastermind. You can talk to me directly and book a coaching call if you're looking for that. And go to ecommerceparadise.com. And the link tree in the bottom is a list of recommended resources, all the software that I use to set up one of these high-ticket dropshipping stores. Again, go to the YouTube playlist. You can see the free mini course there for beginners. You can see our high-ticket dropshipping masterclass, which has modules that are hours long for every single step in the process. And I'm going to be making more of these little specific update videos as well. And you'll see more updated masterclass videos later on as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.